Well, good morning. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Tuesday, August the 5th, 2025 meeting of the Denton County Commissioners Court. We're glad to have y'all in attendance today. At this time, I'd like to welcome forward for our invocation Paul Bastich, our Denton County Veteran Service Officer, and our pledges will be led by Eric Gilder, Sleeve Project Coordinator and County Administration. If you'll please stand. I'd also like to remind everybody to please turn off your cell phones.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. Please pray with me. Dear Heavenly Father, blessed are you, Lord God of all creation, for it is from you, your goodness, that we have this day to gather and celebrate. We thank you for the abundance of the gifts that you shower upon us. We thank you especially for one another. As we give thanks, we are mindful of those who do not have as much as we do. As we share these wonderful gifts together, we commit ourselves to a greater generosity to those who need our support. Grant us all peace. Dear God, be with the children of our communities and all communities as we enter into another school year. Watch over our children, protect them, and most importantly, teach them. May they learn the golden rule and prepare them for the future in our society. We pray that God will bless us all with abundance in all areas of life, including health, relations, and finances. We pray over this court and its elected leaders. May today's session and every session thereafter be in your will and to the benefit of our county. Bless our judge and commissioners. Be with our first responders and our active duty military and the veterans of this great nation. Holy Father, provide us with your wisdom and discernment to make righteous choices and to avoid the pitfalls that lie in our paths. May your guiding light be with us in every decision, leading us closer to you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in our pledges. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And to Texas, honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Well, thank you, Paul. Thank you, Eric. At this time, we'll go to item 1, which is for public input for items not listed on the agenda, and we have about 12 speakers registered to speak today. We'd like to remind everybody that we have a time limit, which is 3 minutes. I'll be happy to set the timer, and if the timer goes off, if you'll just go ahead and please complete the sentence that you're speaking in, and we'll proceed to the next speaker. Our first one is Christopher Key. Christopher, are you with us today? All right. We'll move right along to Susanna Strange. Good morning. Either way, sure, absolutely. Thank you for asking. Good morning. We're happy to have you this morning. Feel free to adjust that microphone as needed.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm very tall.
Go ahead, right ahead.
And I have boots on. Okay. Whenever.
Yep, go right ahead. Thank you. We're glad to have you.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Susanna Strange. I am a Denton resident. I've been here my whole life, born and raised, and you're probably wondering why I'm here this morning. And I'm here to talk about voting centers, something that is very important to me as a Denton resident. So, just a little bit about me. I am a Denton resident that has been here, and I love this community very much. I am an active part of this community, and it has come to my attention that we are trying to get voting centers on election day, and that is something that's very important to me, and I will tell you why. The first thing that I will say is that we are a Democratic government, which means we want everybody in our county to be represented. And if 10 to 15% of voters are being turned away and not able to vote, I don't know, that doesn't sound as democratic as we want to be. So what I'll say is, I remember the first time that I was able to vote. I was very excited. It was for a city council member, I think, and I went and I was like, got my dad to come with me, and I remember having to check 3 times to make sure I was going to the correct location. And that seemed a bit ridiculous to me because I feel like anywhere in the county I should be able to vote, right? If I'm an eligible voter, I made sure to register on time, and I'm in the county, I feel like I should be able to go to a place and vote. However, I see that we have people that are being turned away that are eligible to vote, that have taken time out of their schedule. And so I want to give you an example. So imagine that you live in Krugerville, you're a nurse, you have kids, 3 kids, you work full time, and the only time you have available is election day to vote. You've had time to get your kids ready, you have babysitting all lined up, and you are going to vote. But you live in Krugerville, but you probably, let's say you work in Presbyterian Hospital. And what's gonna happen is you get off of work, let's say at 6 p.m., you have until 7 p.m., and you go, and there are long lines at the precinct. I have stood in a long, long line for the Constitution one, and you know what, I was happy that we were all there, but we had a really long line. And so what I wanted to say is that if that nurse that has taken time out of her day, the only time available that she has is on election day, and she waits in a long line and gets to the front and she cannot vote even though she is an eligible voter and she is a Denton County resident and she has made sure that she is in Denton County to vote. That is a problem and we are doing something very wrong, and I really encourage y'all to think about this and voting centers on election day.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Appreciate your involvement. Next, let's go to Joyce Latham. Joyce Latham? Joyce Latham, are you with us this morning? Good morning. How you doing, ma'am? Please feel free to adjust the microphone. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. You notice I didn't have to put it up.
It's all right.
I am so happy to be here this morning and for the opportunity to address this esteemed group. During these 3 minutes, my goal is to share my experiences and passion through my ancestors and how access and opportunity played a positive role in my support for voting centers. I am the proud great-granddaughter of a man who was born into human bondage known as slavery in 1844. He and his mother were sold. However, when the opportunity presented itself, he did escape, and he was a Union soldier, participated in the Civil War, but came severely disabled. But he did leave as not only as a veteran, but as a U.S. citizen. So when the 15th Amendment was passed and my great-grandfather was able to vote, that's what he did, and that is what he bred into my granddaughter. By the way, this is great-grandpa's picture in his uniform. I didn't bring the original copy because it is so sacred. I didn't want, not sacred, that's religious, but I wanted to keep it safe. My granddaughter had a different, his granddaughter, my grandmother, Leona Malone Taylor, was an educated woman. And because of the actions of her dad, my great-grandfather, she did go to Clark College and got her teacher's degree, certificate. Here's a picture of her in her classroom with 30 students from the ages of 5 to probably 25, given the size of some of those people. But Grandma was not able to vote because as she was a female, and even due to the suffrage movements, it was 20 years after she was able to vote. And Grandma used to talk about politics. They talked about Eisenhower so much, I thought he was a cousin. And I remember asking my dad once, well, when is Cousin Eisenhower coming here? And he says, we need to talk more about politics. So I learned from their laps the value of knowing politics and voting when you can, and how access and opportunity is not available for everyone. As the previous speaker said, here we are, and we know that there are people who have 2, 3, even 4 jobs to make ends meet. We know that there are people who cannot afford car ownership, the opportunity for maintenance, or even insurance, who live off of minimum wage, so they depend upon rides or public transportation to get from point A to point B. Even those who have employers willing them to grant them an hour or 2 off to get to the polls, this opportunity is lost when a coworker does not show up, or when the promised ride to the polls does not occur. Regardless of one's race or gender, we have too many people who are not able to get to the polls. And so voting centers would make it easier to get there and easier to exercise the opportunity that we have in our great and grand country.
Thank you. Thank you for being here, and what a great family legacy. I'm glad you're working to preserve that. Thank you, ma'am. Next is Catherine Luscarton. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm also a Denton County resident for the last 40 years or more. 100 years ago, that is 1925, a lot of folks still refer to those as the horse and buggy days. What a great time that was. People usually worked within a few minutes of where they lived. They shopped within a few minutes. They went to church. They voted. The baker could just step out of his shop, walk around the corner, vote, and head back and take care of his customers. You know what? We don't live in horse and buggy days anymore. And that process that we have is not working well for us now. I've been an election clerk in most of the elections since I retired about 10 years ago.
Thank you for doing that.
And what I dread is toward 5, 6 o'clock on election day is seeing that citizen who has just driven 45 minutes or an hour at a hectic pace to get across town to get to the only place he thinks he's allowed to vote that day. And he stands in a long line, and finally he gets in, and I swipe his driver's license, and I go, oh no, you're not allowed to vote here. I can tell you where it is. Here's the address. Here's how to get there. And he's looking at his watch and going, but I got to be able to pick up my kids from daycare by a certain time. They're just, all of a sudden we both realize there's no way that citizen is going to be able to vote in that particular election because it's election day and there's only one place in the whole county that he's eligible to cast his vote that day. And that's just not right. We've got to move on from a system, a process that worked well in horse and buggy days and recognize that this is now the 21st century and that process just doesn't work anymore, and it's time for you guys to set up a process that does work for every eligible citizen. A huge part of the American dream is self-rule. And when people are denied the ability to vote, we no longer have a government that is by consent of the people who are being governed. And we're counting on you to fix that. Get us out of the horse and buggy days, please, please, and fix this. Giddy up, let's go.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you for working our polls. We appreciate you being an election clerk. All right. Next is Dan Burnham. Mr. Burnham.
Good day, sir.
Good
My
morning.
name is Dan Burnham. I live at 265 Cassie Court. I have attended several of these meetings and listened to those in favor of and those opposed to the voting centers.
Yes, sir.
One of the main arguments against voting centers is based on the assumption that if we allow all Denton County registered voters to vote at any Denton County polling location on Election Day, as we do on early voting, that we must close polling locations that have been open specifically for Election Day to serve specific precincts. Well, I'm opposed to shutting down the polling locations. I'm not in favor of that. That decreases access rather than improving access. But tying the two together, okay, why is shutting down a polling location tied to allowing Denton County registered voters to vote at any county polling location on Election Day? One has nothing to do with the other. I support increasing accessibility, not limiting it. Now, as I understand it, allowing registered voters to vote at any polling location on Election Day would not equate to shutting down other polling locations. After every election, there is a reevaluation process. How many voters utilize that site, and how far is it to the next alternative polling location? But the plan is not to just automatically shut down polling locations. I'd like to believe that all of us here share in the same goal of increased voter access and participation, not limiting it. Allowing registered voters to vote at any polling location on Election Day should not equate to shutting down other polling locations. Why are these two tied together? I would like for somebody to direct me in the proper way to understand why those are tied together and how we would address that issue, because one has nothing to do with the other.
Yeah, good. Thank you, sir. All right, next, thank you, sir, for being here. Next is Jacqueline Ford.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for accepting my application to come here.
Absolutely, we're glad to have you. Go right
And
ahead.
I want to say especially good morning to Commissioner Mitchell.
Yes.
You know, I admire her. So I'm a resident of Denton County for the past 5 years. I'm a native Texan.
Good.
And my presentation is just going to be short and sweet.
All right.
I support and ask you to have Denton County voting centers, you know, to realize that there are some people that are turned away because of the process and the rules that you all have in Denton County that does not allow everyone to vote where there are centers available for them to vote, not just to their specific center precinct. One other thing I want to say, I tend to be an early voter, so I don't tend to be a part of that group that's turned away, but I do have friends and family that are turned away because of your not increasing voting centers. Thank you.
All right, thank you, ma'am. All right, next is Richard Cushmall.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you for being here.
My name is Richard Cushmall. I'm a 10-year resident of Robeson Ranch. I support voting centers on Election Day and early voting. 9 years ago, I began my service with Denton County elections as a poll clerk, initially with Trinity Presbyterian Church and then the county fairgrounds. Subsequently, I served as lead clerk presiding judge for early and election day polling locations at the North Branch Library, MLK Center, Denton County Southwest Courthouse, Argyle City Hall, North Lake High School, Justin City Hall, Ponder, Robeson Ranch, North Lake Town Hall, and Denton Hilton Garden Inn. I have firsthand experience with the inconvenience to some voters caused by designated precinct voting on Election Day. My experience has been that the redirection of voters varies with location and the type of election. At North Lake Town Hall this past spring, there were 10 or less that were redirected. In the 2024 presidential election at the Hilton Garden Inn, we had 25 redirections. My worst experience with this issue was during the 2020 presidential election at North Branch Library. Due to heavy turnout, much of the afternoon, we had a line waiting to vote of 10 to 15 people deep. To expedite matters, we used our curbside poll pad to go down the line and pre-check individuals to ensure they were in the right location, and if not, to give them directions and speed them on their way. Overall that day, we redirected 200 plus voters and had 600 that did vote in that location. As usual, near the end of the day, several chose to vote provisionally rather than rush to a different polling place. Although we informed the provisional voter that their ballot will be reviewed and a decision made within the next 2 weeks, it's my understanding that unless there is some error on the part of the county, provisional votes cast outside precinct on election day will not be accepted, and those votes will not count. I support voting centers for election day as well as early voting. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, and thank you for working all those elections. It's like you went all over. Appreciate you. Next is Mr. Joel McGregor. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Joel McGregor, North Lake, Texas. First comment I wanted to make was we are not a democracy. We just said the pledge to our flag this morning. We are a constitutional republic where individuals have rights, and I know you know that. I've been an election judge for many years since I moved to Denton in 2013, served as a clerk also, and before that in Tarrant County. I don't know, I guess there's different stats at different locations, but the locations I've worked, the most we've ever sent to another location at the end of the day, on voting day, was maybe 2 people. I can't for sure remember that we ever had 2 people. Usually we have none, but it's not totally uncommon to have 1 person that gets sent at the last hour to somewhere else. I think one of the main issues is uninformed voters. You know, we have an excellent website, and it's an easy website, Vote Denton. You just go there, it gives you your sample ballot, it gives you your polling location. That's never been wrong. I've never shown up at the wrong polling location. So it's just not that difficult. I think one thing on being uninformed, I think we could improve that site by maybe adding links to candidate information on the sample ballot so that people can actually be informed on who they're voting for instead of having to rely on mailers where the person with the most money is usually the one that wins because you get the most mailers from them and you get familiar with the name and you don't have any way to check out the other candidates. One big thing that's negative on voting centers, I'm against those if I didn't mention that, is it really hurts the grassroots candidates. If you're a grassroots candidate for a local election, if you have one polling place to man, you as the candidate can stand outside that polling place and meet the people that are going to vote for you and talk to them and tell them what you stand for, and the other candidate can stand out there and talk to them also, and that happens on election day. You know, if we have countywide voting, the grassroots little guys can't man every location in Denton County, you know, so it's the guy with the big money that can pay people to go out and man all these other locations that gets the word out. I think that's a big negative against that. And, you know, frankly, these people have 2 weeks of countywide voting generally. I know they don't have a shorter time during the primary, but it's still 10 days. So even on Sunday. So it's not that difficult to go. If you want to vote anywhere, you can do it in the previous 2 weeks. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And thank you for working our elections. Next is Melinda Preston.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. My name is Melinda Preston. I am the chair of the Denton County Republican Party. I had a speech written, but I want to address some of the questions and some of the things that were said here today. Here is an article that says, that is a very good article that everybody should read. Texas closes hundreds of polling sites, makes it harder for minorities to vote. Guardian analyzes finds that places where Black and Latino population is growing by the largest numbers experience the majority of closures. Guys, the whole concept of having both voting centers and precinct voting is to meet every need. Every single person is taken care of. If you do not have the money for a vehicle, you do not have a ride, you cannot drive, you have a precinct voting location near you on Election Day, you're not going to be left out and not get to vote on that day. We have a perfect system in Denton County. I mean, it truly is perfect for every single voter. If you are the nurse that has a child at a daycare, whatever, if you get in the back of the line, I want to address that too. When you get in the line, you're in that line if you're there before 7 o'clock. Nobody's ever going to tell you you cannot vote. I have worked on Election Day. We would never turn away a voter who is in that line up until 7 o'clock. So you will get to vote. But one of the things that we need to realize is we need to meet every need, not just some people's needs. You will have less locations with voting centers. That's the whole concept about a voting center, is it'll be less expensive, you'll have less voting locations. That's the purpose of it. More people will be voting in less locations, longer lines. It's harder for a lot of people to get to. We need to keep what we've got. Take care of our citizens, every citizen is taken care of in Denton County. We will fight for every citizen to have a vote because they deserve it. And so this is why we need both voting centers and precinct voting for our county. Let's keep our county to where every voter has a voice.
Thank you. Next is Jenna Masquelier. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Good morning, judges.
Good
morning.
morning.
And commissioners. Sorry, I don't have my glasses, so this is going to be fun.
You need some?
Well, I tried, and they're all not right, so it makes it worse. I have served as both a judge and clerks in multiple elections over the past 4 years here in Denton County, including Election Day general elections. I'm here to speak in opposition to the implementation of countywide voting centers. It's been suggested that large numbers of voters are turned away at precinct-level polling places, and that simply is not true. I've personally processed thousands of voters in our county, and in all that time, I have only needed to redirect 3, all of whom were new to the area and had no issue voting at their correct precinct. Many residents returned to the same polling place year after year, creating community. I always send clerks down the line with poll pads, making sure that our voters are in the right precinct. I keep hearing that they wait till the final moment. They don't. We give them the opportunity. We're walking up and down the whole time checking, give them ample opportunity. We print where they need to go if they're in the wrong place, but they're not. People know what to do in Denton. Shifting to countywide voting centers would create serious logistical vulnerabilities as well. Consolidating into fewer, larger sites introduces single points of failure. I've seen firsthand what happens when printers go down, voters leave rather than fill out emergency ballots. I've opened polling locations at dawn when it was still dark, only to find that the keys to the voting machines were missing. And then there are power outages, always a good time. Our current precinct model works. If a problem arises, the impact is isolated and manageable. Under a voting center model, a single tech failure could paralyze Election Day across the entire county, and let's be honest, voters will not wait. Additionally, under current Texas law, primary elections cannot use countywide voting centers without agreement from both parties. That doesn't happen. It doesn't. If we switch systems mid-cycle, we create confusion. Sometimes voters use one system, other times another. That inconsistency invites mistakes and disengagement. Let's not complicate a process that should remain simple and clear. Finally, election integrity is easier to uphold in small, well-defined precincts. If there's a question or a concern, it's far more manageable to audit and investigate what happened in a small, localized setting than in a massive voting center drawing people from across the county. Precinct-based voting offers greater transparency and accountability and ultimately a better service to our community. In summary, let's preserve our precinct-based model. It is effective, it is stable, it is trusted, it is fair. Let's not exchange a proven system for one that introduces unnecessary complexity and risk. Thank you again for your time and consideration.
Thank you. To the second. Thank you for working Jenna, thank you for working our elections. I appreciate you doing that. Thank you for being here. Next is Sharon Creamer. Good morning.
Good morning to all of you.
Thank you for being here.
I am Sharon Kramer, and I bear the proud badge of having been born in Flo Hospital.
All right.
As were my two children.
Good.
So good morning again, and I'm here to advocate for voting centers. And I want to share with you my experiences as a voting clerk and an involved citizen.
Okay.
But first, a few things I need to clarify. When each of you were seated as a county commissioner, I think I'm correct that you took oaths to serve the needs of Denton County citizens. I think you did. And I think you also pledged to ensure that Denton County had safe roads, public health, and an efficient system that delivered public services. Let me remind you of one time 5 years ago when you guys led the way in COVID vaccinations. Your plan for large, organized, well-managed drive-through vaccinations was a remarkable feat, and it garnered well-deserved public praise and press. Your plan was heralded for its clarity, ease, and efficiency of delivery system. So let's try something. Let's bring that same level of clarity, ease, and efficiency to voting. Let's join 99 other Texas counties and have voting centers. Currently, we're not providing a consistent election system. The policy of one set of locations for early voting and another for election day confuses many voters. I've served as an election clerk and an alternate judge many times since 2012, which seems so long ago. I've seen the faces and I've heard the words of the confused and disappointed on election day when we have to redirect them to their home precinct. We clerks and judges really do our very best to serve voters, but we never know if those redirected ones actually get to cast their vote. I taught for 40 years, ninth graders. Seen quite a lot, but I know this for sure. No classroom flourishes with confusion. Our voters don't flourish with it either. Denton County voters don't need that kind of confusion, especially when the proven strategy in 99 other counties is voting centers. And when do we need them? We need voting centers now. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your years of service in the classroom and years of service at our polling location, so thank you. Next, let's go to Vince Handler. Good morning.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Vince Handler. I reside in Little Elm. I'm here to introduce myself because I'm campaigning to win the election as the next Justice of the Peace for Denton County Precinct 5, and for geographic reference, That precinct is the entire northern half of the county, basically from Wise County all the way to Collin County, south to about Highway 380, but it does flow down south there into Oak Point, Paloma Creek, and portions of Little Elm. I'm a graduate of Baylor Law School and an actively practicing attorney. I've handled thousands of cases in Denton County Justice of the Peace courts, earning the trust and respect of many of the Denton County judges. More than a year ago, the current Justice of the Peace, Judge Michael Oglesby, personally called to let me know that he would not be running for re-election. And since then, over a dozen local judges have encouraged me to fill that role. So now I'm stepping up to continue the tradition of integrity and fairness that our community expects from its judges. I've earned the enthusiastic support by many who know me through my service as an active community leader. For instance, I'm honored to have the Denton County Sheriff Tracy Murphy serving as my campaign treasurer. I've earned the endorsements of several state representatives, mayors, council members, precinct chairs, and other current and former elected officials, with more endorsements on the way. Outside the courtroom, I stay deeply involved in our community. I serve on local boards, served on as an election judge, currently serve as a precinct chair. I'm the vice president of a local veterans club, and I volunteer as a teen court judge for the Collin County's teen court program. Before I became an attorney, I served as a law enforcement special agent and proudly retired as a 20-year Air Force veteran. These and other experiences, combined with a strong foundation in the law, have equipped me with a wide range of valuable skills that I would bring serving as Justice of the Peace. As judge, I'll be fair, impartial, and committed to ensuring that every case is heard without prejudice or favoritism. And I will faithfully uphold the law, applying it consistently and predictably to the facts of each case. And finally, I am faith and family focused. For me, being a judge is not a job, it's actually a calling. I'm grateful for the unwavering support of my wife, my extended family, and many, many friends. I would be honored to earn your personal support as well as the support of the entire Denton County community. And to learn more, you can go to handlerforjudge.com, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your service to the country. All right. That is all of our public comment. Teresa, is there any more that have come in? Okay. We'll take a 1-minute recess. If anyone wants to leave the courtroom, we'll go ahead and let them. And we appreciate each of y'all being here today. Thank you so much. Proceed with our agenda. Next, let's go to item 7B. 7B is approval of the submission of the appraisal roll for Denton County for tax year 2025 from the tax assessor collector. And we do have Ms. Way here. Good morning.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners.
Good morning, ma'am.
All right, I'm here to read and put in record for the 2025 certified appraisal roll values. Would you like me to read 2024, 2025, and the variance, or
Yes,
just 2025?
Let's go ahead and do both, and we'll read it into the record.
Okay. Total appraised value is $225,450,141,872 for 2024. 2025 is $241,860,740,890. The variance from 2024 is $16,410,599,018. Net appraised value is $215,456,720,671. That's after the HS cap. 2025 is $235,718,966,232. And the variance from 2024 is $20,262,991,992. $245,561. For total net taxable value, it's 192, this is for 2024, $192,068,281,684. That's before the freeze table. And 2025 is $207,352,205,545, with a variance from 2024 of $15,283,923,861. Total freeze adjustment tax value is $171,088,612,116 after the freeze table. 2025 is $182,824,380,607, with a variance of $11,735,768,491. Total new taxable value for 2024 was $8,388,116,996. 2025 is $6,189,676,691. So the total decrease in new value over the last year is $2,198,440,305.
Decrease in new value.
Yes.
Yep.
Would you like me to do the certified anticipated collection rate now or wait until the agenda item?
Let's go ahead and approve this, and then we'll proceed to that one. Okay, Dawn?
Okay. Property under review is $521,230,056 for 2024, and currently for 2025, with a 0.5%, it's $152,176,596. So that's a 0.5% of property that's still under review.
Okay.
And that's the certified appraisal roll value.
Perfect. Good. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate everything you and your team have done and that of also the appraisal district and pulling together the roll. Do we have a motion for approval?
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? Again, thank you all for everything you all have done. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next, we'll proceed to 7C, which is approval of the no new revenue and voter approval tax rates for Denton County for tax year 2025. Go ahead and proceed.
Sure. The no new revenue rate for 2025 is .178973. The voter approval rate is .188075. The de minimis rate is .179323. And that concludes that report.
Okay, perfect. Do we have a motion for approval? Motion by Commissioner Edmondson, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next, let's go to 7D, approval of the certification of the amount of debt taxes collected in excess of the anticipated amount in the preceding year for Denton County for tax year 2025. Go ahead and proceed, Don.
Sure thing. 2025 certified anticipated collection rate is 100%. And the 2024 certified excess debt collections is $7,938,425.
Okay.
That was, it says 2024 excess debt collection.
Yeah, we wouldn't know.
That's correct. It's 2024.
All right. Do we have questions related to that, members, or do we have a motion for approval?
So moved.
We have a motion by Commissioner Falconer, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. I want to thank you again for pulling it all together. Thank you, Stacy. I know you've been very busy as well. Thank you for all your years of calculating this and for others as well. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate you.
Ladies.
Stacy's the wind beneath my wings for sure.
Yeah,
All right, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Don.
ma'am. Have a great day.
proceed to item 14E, approval of the municipal advisory agreement with Hilltop Securities, Inc., and any appropriate action. The chair move for approval.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Williams. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, John, for being here. Thank you for all that you do. Let's go back and proceed with item number 2, which is our consent agenda. Members, is there any items you'd like to pull off the consent agenda, or do we have a motion for approval as presented? Motion by Commissioner Mitchell, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Our consent agenda today consists of item 2A, which is approval of the order making appointments and any appropriate action. Let's just go to item 5A, approval of the bill report payments from CSCD, Community Corrections, TAIP, Sheriff's Training, Sheriff's Forfeiture, and VIT interest and DA forfeiture funds are presented for recording purposes only. Good morning.
Good morning. No changes this week. Recommend to approve as presented.
All right, do we have a motion as such?
To approve.
We have a motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Let's just go to item 6A, approval of the specifications for RFSQ 252874, selection of insurance broker for specialized insurance and appointment evaluation committee to include Todd Landrum, Information Security Officer Brian King, Deputy Chief Information Officer Sohail Omar, Security Engineer, and Ryan Sanford, Technology Contracts Manager, and any appropriate action.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Falconer, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next item 6B, approval to declare the cubicle furniture listed in Exhibit A as surplus and approval of transfer of sale agreement between Denton County and Denton County Transportation Authority for surplus cubicle furniture amount of $1,200. The chair move for approval. Second by Commissioner Edmondson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is item 6C, approval to procure consulting services for the Enterprise Resource Planning ERP post-production support through Carasoft Technology Corporation, amount of $50,752 through the Texas DIR Cooperative Contract DIR CPO 5175.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next item 6D, approval of the evaluation committee's recommendation to rank Leaf Engineers Incorporated as the most qualified firm for RFSQ 252866 engineering services for electrical and generator upgrades and any appropriate action.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Falconer, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next item 6C, approval of award of RFP 252859 tax statement preparation and mailing services to Data Integrators Incorporated in any appropriate action. Motion by Commissioner Mitchell, second by Commissioner Edmondson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. There is no report for 7A. We've already done 7B. We've done the others. Let's proceed. We'll do those afterwards. Let's go to 14A. Approval of a grazing lease between Denton County, Texas, and as landlord and GDC West Frisco Real Estate LLC as tenant for real estate property located at 3794 Gansett Road West, Denton, Texas 76207. The premises, which shall commence on the day that the Denton County, Texas acquires legal title to the premises, commencement day, and expire at 11:59 Central Time at September 1, 2026, expiration date unless sooner terminated or extended as provided herein, or by tenant shall pay the landlord rent for the premises in the amount of $1 per month during the lease term. The rent shall be due and payable on the first day of each month. And 2, grant authorization for Denton County judge to execute the lease on behalf of Denton County, Texas at the real estate closing for the purchase of real property described as approximately 69.06 plus or minus acres located at 3794 Gansett Road West, and an additional 70.096 acres located on West Milam Road in Denton County, Texas.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Falconer, second by Commissioner Williams. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is item 14B, approval of the exercise of the lease extension option by Sally Beauty Supply LLC to extend the lease terms for the property owned by Denton County, Texas, located at 3001 Colorado Boulevard, Denton, Texas 76210 for an additional 3 months commencing October 31st, 2025 through January 31st, 2026. Chair, move for approval. Second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion?
Just a quick note.
Yes.
That extension won't affect us one bit on our conversion. So.
Absolutely.
And this will be their, I guess, the only extension they'll need?
Yeah, the only option, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you. All right, any other questions or comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is approval of Amendment Number 2 to the interlocal cooperation agreement between Denton County, Texas and the City of Salina, Texas for Phase 2 of the Frontier Parkway Parvin Road project to reflect a revision in project scope to include right-of-way acquisition, utility relocations, inspection, and construction associated with the project, which consists of widening Frontier Parkway Parvin Road as a 6-lane roadway from 1385 to Legacy Drive for a length of approximately 4.5 miles at a total estimated project cost of $8,300,000. But there's no increase to the current Denton County contribution of $6 million towards satisfactory completion of the project and any appropriate action.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 14D, approval of additional funding for the professional services agreement between Denton County, Texas and the Aguirre and Fields for the Estates Drive project at Poindexter Branch at a total cost of $695,920 with authorization of appropriated funds in an amount not to exceed $395,920 with funding to come from Estates Drive, Trip 22, Precinct 3, Auto Line item 947586940 and any appropriate action. Motion by Commissioner Mitchell, second by Commissioner Edmondson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 14F, approval of the consent to assignment for the professional services agreement for engineering services for the FM 455 project between Denton County, Texas and Dannenbaum Engineering Company, named subsequently changed to DEC Texas LLC, dated May 25th, 2010, and assign the remaining obligations under professional services agreement to GFT Infrastructure Incorporated, formerly known as Gannett Fleming Incorporated, and any appropriate action.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 14G, approval of resolution by the Commissioners Court of Denton County, Texas, accepting the petition seeking the creation of a Western Frontier Public Improvement District Number 1 located in Denton County Commissioner Number 2, calling for a public hearing to be held in the Commissioners Court September the 9th, 2025 meeting in accordance with Chapter 372 of the Texas Local Government Code.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Falconer, second by Commissioner Williams. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 14H, approval of the interlocal cooperation agreements for property tax assessment and collection between Denton County, Texas for each of the following entities: the Town of Flower Mound, the Denton County Emergency Services District Number 1, and 3, the Denton County Emergency Services District Number 2, and 4, the City of Highland Village, and 5, the Town of Providence Village, 6, the City of Justin, as recommended by the Denton County Tax Assessor Collector. Motion by Commissioner Edmondson, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is item 14I, approval of interlocal cooperation agreements between Denton County, Texas and the City of Justin for collection of special assessments levied by the following entities: 1, the Timberbrook Public Improvement District 2, 1A, number 1, and 2, the Timberbrook Public Improvement District number 1A, number 2B, and 3, the Timberbrook Public Improvement District number 1A, 2A, and 4, the Timberbrook Public Improvement District number 1, M1A, and 5, Timberbrook Public Improvement District 1A, number 1, as recommended by the Denton County Tax Assessor Collector. Motion by Commissioner Edmondson, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next, let's go to item 17, which is community updates. We'll start with Commissioner Precinct 1.
Yes, sir, thank you. I just have one thing today. I want to congratulate some of the Prosper baseball players who received honorable mention by the Texas Sport Writers Association All-Teams, All-State Team, pitcher Hunter Vincent, third baseman Brody Maddox, outfielder Caden Roberty, and designated hitter Luke Billings. Congratulations to all four of those young gentlemen, and good luck to them in the next chapter of their life. I know Luke is going to A&M, so.
All right, next is Commissioner Falconer.
Thank you, Judge. I have a couple of congratulatory things for Precinct 2 folks. In the Colony High School, Trey Rangel made the team for Dick's All-American Classic on playing in the West as a pitcher, and that'll be held in August 15th and through the 17th in San Diego. It's quite an accomplishment. And then City of Carrollton, the marketing services team led by Kelly Lewis won 3 Blue Pencil and Gold Screen Awards in the marketing for marketing communications at the National Association of Government Communicators. Congratulations. And then just a few events going on. So in Carrollton, we have the Community Jigsaw Puzzle Exchange donation days, and that's the 4th through the 15th. And not sure where that is, probably at a library, but look it up. And actually the 16th from 2 to 4 will be also happening. Tech A, that's getting first come, first serve issues with tech issues. And that'll be at the Josie Ranch Library August 6th, tomorrow from 2 to 3. Sounds on the Square on the 8th from 6 to 8, and that's in downtown Carrollton. And Back to School Fest for Carrollton Farmers Branch ISD. That's the 8th, 9 to noon, and that's at Ranch View High School. Crossroads has their summer market on the 9th, from 8 to 11 at 424 in Fish Trap. Frisco has their summer movie series at the PGA Frisco, and that's the 8th, 8 to 10 p.m. And Coffee with the Mayor on the 8th in the morning, 8 to 9. That's at the library community room. And Cycling the City, that's at Northeast Community Park on the 9th from 8 to 11. And then So Long Sweet Summer at Frisco Water Park. Are we already getting rid of summer, I guess?
I guess so.
August 9th, 6 to 9, or 6 to 8 at the Athletic Center. And then Little Elm has their Lights, Camera, and Lawn Minions. That'll be the 9th from 7 to 9 at 125 Main Street. That's all I've got.
Perfect, good, thank you. Commissioner Mitchell.
I want to say congratulations to the Heart of the City for being named the 2024 Nonprofit of the Year last week during our 2025 Unity Luncheon in Louisville. Also, Children Advocacy Center received the first ever Legacy Award for their work to ensure every child victimized by abuse received justice and the healing they deserved. Also, Winning the Fight, a organization that was created by Kathy O'Keefe, fighting for, after they lost their son to an accidental drug overdose, and they continue to fight to provide assistance to family in her honor. Also at Lake City, on August the 7th, we have a LISD Adopt a Teacher luncheon, and that's Dallas ISD, not Louisville. We also have Lake City's Trade Days on August the 9th, and Louisville River Care, the Great Revival, on August the 9th at Layla. That's all I have.
Perfect, thank you. Commissioner Edmondson.
Well, I have some really exciting news. I'd like to offer congratulations to Cooper Lutkenhouse. He is 16 years old and will be a junior at Northwest High School. He competed in the U.S. Track and Field Outdoor Championships this past weekend in the 800-meter finals and broke the world record for 18 and under. He's going to represent the U.S. at the World Championships in Tokyo in September, and he's now the 4th fastest American ever and the youngest American in the World Track and Field Championship history. I think that's just awesome, and we're so proud of him. We've got a kind of an interesting thing from Crum. As you all know, it's back to school, and Crum's offering through their Hair Academy free haircuts for back to school by local hair professionals and barbers. Open to all Crum ISD students, no appointment needed. Haircuts are free. First-time home buyers in Denton will be offered some help at the Emily Fowler Central Library on the 7th at 6 p.m. And in Justin, they continue their farmers market. In Trophy Club, they've got a community pep rally to put the Bobcats back in school. So lots of good fun stuff going on. And I guess we're just about through the summer.
That's right. Well, speaking of ending the summer, we do have an upcoming tax-free holiday weekend on Friday, August the 8th through Sunday, August the 10th at midnight is tax-free holiday weekend here in Texas. This is an ideal time to purchase school supplies, backpacks, and clothing for the upcoming school year. And I'm so glad I'm out of the back-to-school shopping. Just got to say. For a complete list of items that can be purchased tax-free and corresponding dollar limits, visit the comptroller's website. And I do want to remind everybody, seriously, on a serious note, school zones will be starting again, and so everybody be very student mindful as you're traveling, especially in morning and afternoons across the county. All right, let's proceed forward to our executive session. We do have a few items. Oh, we're going to need to go back to item 8A. Let's go back to 8A. Yeah, I was going to say, let's go back quickly to 8A was a report from Human Resource regarding hiring action of elected officials. Hello, Julie. Good morning.
Good morning. We have one promotion in the county clerk's office, 2 new hires in the county clerk's office, 1 new hire in the district attorney, 6 new hires in district clerk, 1 promotion in juvenile probation, 2 new hires in juvenile probation, 7 new hires in the sheriff's office, all detention officers, 1 new hire in the tax assessor's office, and 2 promotions in the tax assessor's office.
Perfect. Good. Thank you, Julie. All right, let's proceed to executive session. We have a few items here, which is one is 15A, Texas Government Code 551072, deliberation regarding real property, closed meeting to deliberate to purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property. If deliberation in an open meeting would have a detrimental effect on the position of the governmental body in negotiations with a third person. 15B, Texas Government Code 55107445A1, personal matters affecting the county advisory body. Closed meeting deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment duties, discipline, or dismissal of a member of an advisory body with a little m, tax increment reinvestment zone. Number 3, TERS 3, Board of Directors. And 15C, Texas Government Code 55107445A1, personal matters affecting the county advisory body. Closed meeting deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment duties, discipline, or dismissal of a member of the advisory body with the town of Flower Mound increment reinvestment zone number 2, TERS 2, and any appropriate action. And it is 10:07. We're in executive session.